This is your 20-minute podcast, where we do our best to give you useful information in 20 minutes or less. Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at audibletrial.com/your 20-minute podcast. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. Now, here's your host, David Brower.
I'll give you I'm a baby boomer, and we have exactly the same experience. So this is fascinating to me in that when I quit my corporate job in April 30th of 08, and I took a leap of faith on May 1st of 08 to be an entrepreneurial guy and run my own voiceover business and those kinds of things. And so that went along great for a while, and then I missed the corporate thing, so I did that part-time. And then last fall, I'm going, what in the hell are you doing? Go back to what you love, go back to what you're passionate about. And then what I discovered a couple of months ago, and exactly as you're saying through these podcasts, when I sit at home with my wife and my dog, or I'm working in the studio, I'm pretty much by myself. I'm immersing myself in my work as you did. And so part of the payoff for me in doing these podcasts is doing exactly what you just said, and that is talking to unique individuals with unique perspectives, unique experiences, learning from them, having adult conversation, and it just changes your life. Because, in fact, my wife told me the other day, she said, I'm sure glad you're doing those podcasts. And I said, why is that?
Yeah.
She said, because your energy is so much better.
Well, it affects you in all facets of life. I brought up the mental aspect. Well, I didn't bring up the mental aspect. So one thing that's helped me, stay emotionally sane and also help me with my business is mentally challenging myself. And that could be, in your case, that can be through podcasting and, thinking of good questions to ask your guests or topics to ask your guests. That requires some critical thinking. In my case, I mentally exercise my mind by reading good books, listening to good podcasts. I also play a lot of chess. So I have a chess group that I play with every week, and that mentally stimulates my mind. I also do a lot of writing myself. So
nice.
I've come out with 2 number 1 best-selling books during this process. I'm working on a book that's going to be out later this year, and it all exercises a mind. And again, this helps me because it keeps me sharp in the business space. It keeps me sharp in running my own businesses and in staying up to date on things.
Well, let's talk about your book, 50 Shades of Marketing, Whip Your Business into Shape and Dominate Your Competition, a bestseller and has great reviews. And how did that come about, first and foremost? And what have you found people coming back to you with in appreciation of your work?
Well, the book was really a direct result, David, of frustration. I was frustrated with really the clients who I was working with because they just didn't get the idea of what marketing is, why it's important, and how to go about marketing effectively. So I thought It's one thing for me to talk to these clients and, try to convince them to do things a different way than what they've been doing. And, they'll just blow me off. It's another thing to put it all on writing as a primer, which is what 50 Shades of Marketing is, so that I can release it to the world and they can see it for themselves. For a low cost, it's like $4.99 on Kindle and like $11 on paperback and like $15 an audiobook. So for a low cost, now the entire world has access to kind of my secrets on how I've helped myself and other businesses make money through online and digital marketing. The book is more than 250 pages long. It's well researched. It has charts. It has graphs. It has data that backs up almost everything that I've done. And it goes into almost any topic you can think about when it comes to online and digital marketing. That's why I wrote the book, because there really wasn't too much information out there, at least in book form. There are probably 2 other books, one by David Meerman Scott and another one called Traction, that do a good job of explaining this. But that's about it. I mean, it's kind of sad to think about. You have an entire online ecosystem worth trillions of dollars, and there were only 2 books that were, viable in explaining how things work. So I thought, let's create a primer that goes through all these topics step by step. That's what 50 Shades of Marketing is.
And the fact that that information was not readily available, I'm sure helped create the popularity of your book just organically.
Yeah. So the information is out there. So there are blogs out there, there are newsletters out there, but there was nothing that put it all together in one easily digestible format. So in the case of 50 Shades of Marketing, you have everything in 250 pages right in front of you. Whereas you can go to a blog and you need to click this one link to learn about Facebook and, enter a search term to find out about direct response marketing, and then, find another article about copywriting. It's all disjointed, hard to navigate through. 50 Shades of Marketing is sequential, and it takes a lot of these sources from online and aggregates them into one simple, understandable book.
Good for you. Good for you. The other book that you wrote is Podcastnomics, if I'm pronouncing that right, the book of podcasting and to make you millions. It's also a #1 bestseller on Amazon. And as a relatively new podcast host, I'll be downloading that audiobook. So how did that come about?
Well, first off, I want to tell you and your listeners, David, if you guys want a free audiobook of 50 Shades of Marketing or Podcastnomics, contact me through krishmediamarketing.com, KRISH, mediamarketing.com. My email is Naresh at krishmediamarketing.com. I will send you guys Audible promotion code so that you can get the books for free. So that's a special offer that I have for your listeners. Now, as far as Podcastnomics goes, that came out a year before 50 Shades of Marketing, and it's kind of similar. It was not frustration, but it was more podcasting was such a new medium. And I saw firsthand when I was working full time at a company, I created their online radio network, which was a podcasting network. And we were making we were making 5 figures a week. Wow. So we were doing extremely well, making all sorts of money. And that's when I learned, this podcasting can actually become a very lucrative business or a very lucrative medium. So that was the genesis of Podcastnomics. Most of my friends didn't even know what podcasting was, what it meant. So Podcastnomics is a primer on what is podcasting, the opportunities that exist within podcasting, how to go about starting your own podcast, and most importantly, how to make money off of the podcast. So it walks readers through step by step on the full podcasting process from soup to nuts.
Outstanding. We're about out of time, so I want to make sure that people understand the best way to get a hold of you, not only to take advantage of your generous offer of the Audible download opportunities, but also just to reach out to you to learn more about what you do, how you do it. I don't know if you do any consulting to help businesses now, but fill people in on what you have available for them possibly.
Absolutely. My business is Krish Media and Marketing. It's an online business consultancy and agency. So we do consult with businesses of all sizes, one-man bands all the way up to large publicly traded corporations worth billions of dollars. Anything that's online or digital, we can help you monetize. We can help you with search engine optimization, copywriting, just all sorts of things. You can see our full list of services at krishmediamarketing.com, KRISH mediamarketing.com. You can get the books on Amazon. Contact me if you want to take advantage of my offer to give away free audiobooks of 50 Shades of Marketing or Podcastnomics. Or you can have both of them too. Just send me an email. And if you want to get on my free newsletter that gives you more information, it provides info on how to become a better online marketer, an online digital business person. My full name, nareshvissa.com, NARESHVISSA, nareshvissa.com. You can get on the newsletter there. And we promise we won't spam you. We'll only send you a couple of mailings a month at most.
That sounds terrific. I'm signing up for that, and I'm going to download your book for sure. So this has been a treat for me, man. Very informative and very educational and very uplifting in a lot of ways. I really appreciate you sharing your life experience and business experience with us.
Thank you, David. And I think we had a very successful connection today.
I agree. Our special guest, Naresh Vissa, and again, it's Naresh vissa.com, and of course, krishmediamarketing.com, and Krish is Krish. Be sure to reach out to him. You've been listening to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower and our special guest again, Naresh Vissa. Thanks for listening, and be sure to follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/your 20-minute podcast.
Until next time, don't forget to download your free audiobook at audibletrial.com/your 20-minute podcast. That's audibletrial.com/your 20-minute podcast for your free audiobook. And thanks for listening to your 20-minute podcast with David Brower.